payments journal, a petty cash report for Keller Lighting, and we have 5 different things to do here on this sheet. So the first thing we're going to do is rule page 5 of the cash payments journal. Use March 27th as our date. So that's what they give us there at the top, and they already did that for us, so we just need to put the date. So the 27th there below Ace Manufacturing. And then in our account title, we're going to put carried forward. And then we'll put a check mark in the post reference. Okay, so then on the cash payments journal, the blank one, that's our next page. So we need to put page number 6. And then our date is going to be March 27th. Our account title, we're going to put brought forward. We'll put a check mark in the post reference again. And then you're just going to bring down the totals that they have up above on page 5. So our general debit would be the $18,486.85. General credit, $458.56. Accounts payable debit, $16,483.50. Purchase discount credit, $251.34. And cash credit is $34,260.45. Okay, so we'll come back to that. Now we are going to be looking at that petty cash report. So on this, Kevin Tomlinson is the custodian of a $200 petty cash account. On March 31st, he had receipts for the following total payments: supplies office, $45.23, supplies store, $66.18, and miscellaneous, $49.25. A cash account shows that you have $40.59 in the petty cash box. Now we need to prepare the report. So our date there, we're going to put March 31st. And just you want to scoot that up so we can see. Okay, then custodian is Kevin Tomlinson. Tomlinson. Okay, on the first line where it has fund total, we're going to write all the amounts where there's the white boxes. So that's how much is your petty cash altogether as it's supposed to be. So $200 will go in that first white box. No. The white box underneath reconciliation. Okay, then for our payments. The first one, so on the line you write supplies dash office. And then in the box for the amount, it's $45.23. Our next one is supplies dash store. And it's $66.18. And then our last one, miscellaneous. It's $49.25. So we need to add those 3 amounts together. Okay, so there on the total payments, we're going to put $160.66.
Wait, where?
For total payments. Very next, yeah, right there. In the white box though. then you'll also put that on the other side of that arrow, $160.66. And you see the column heading for that is replenish amount. So how much you're going to repay. Okay, so then if you take your 200 minus $160.66, what do we get?
44.
Okay, so that goes on the next line where it has recorded amount. So $39.34.
That's not what I know.
200 minus 160.
39.
Okay, $39.34. Then the actual amount on hand, that's what the book told us. How much do we have in our petty cash box? And there we have $40.59. Okay, so are we short or are we over?
Over.
In our petty cash box, we're over. Right, because we have more in our box than what we just calculated on our paper, so we're over. So what is the difference between those two? Okay, so in parentheses on that next line, you're going to put $1.25. And parentheses in accounting terms simply means subtract, or a negative number. Okay, and then you'll carry that over on the other side of the arrow. So in the parentheses, $1.25. And then we'll take 160.66 minus $1.25. So we should get $159.41. Okay, so that's how much money we would actually have to put in our petty cash box. Okay, now the next thing we have to do, we're going to go back up to our cash payments journal and record the replenishment of the stock. So our date now, it tells us, is the 31st. And this is where we've done this before as far as recording it, where we get a little confused sometimes. So you're just going to list those three things that we have down there on our report. So your first one, you'll just do supplies-office. And in the book, it tells me what my check number is, so that's 536, so go in the check number. And so then as a general debit, you're going to put in the $45.23. Okay, then our next line will be the supplies-store. We don't need anything in the check number, and it just need to move your other number to a debit. It's a debit of $66.18. Okay, and then our next one, miscellaneous expense. And that's a debit of $49.25. Miscellaneous expense is what we need to put when we're journalizing. Okay, and then our last account is going to be cash short and over. And we know it's $1.25, but is it a debit or a credit? It's a credit. So put the $1.25 in the credit. Yes, general credit. And then you could double check to make sure you got things right. So you could add your debits and subtract your credit. Or if you just look down below in our report where we have the amount to replenish. So the $159.41, you need to write in the cash credit on line 2. So on the same line as supplies office. So cash credit of $159.41. Is the first line of the transaction, so that's where,
First line.
that's on the same line as supplies office,
So this up here.
yeah, and then cash credit,
Okay.
59.40. Okay, and the last one we're gonna do is total, prove, and rule the cash payments journal. So in our cash payments, we need a single rule across there. Our date is gonna be the 31st. Account title will be totals. And so then we'll add up each of our columns. So our general debit is now $18,647.51. Our general credit is $459.81. Accounts payable, we're just going to bring down that same amount, so $16,483.50. Purchases discount credit, bring it down, so $251.34, and then our cash credit is now $34,419.86. Okay, then they're trying to give us a little help there at the bottom of the page so we can see if our debits and credits equal each other. So down there at the bottom, we're just going to bring down those numbers. So our general debit number is the $18,647.51. Then our accounts payable debit is $16,483.50. And over to our credits, our general credit, $459.81. Purchase discount credit is $251.34. And our cash credit is $34,419.86. So Holly, you have the debits. Claire or Morgan Kroger do the credits.
$35,131.
Okay, Holly, what did you get for the debits? Okay, so both totals are $35,131.01. Okay, so since they equal, now you can go back up and do a double rule underneath your total. Okay, so now we have everything completed. Okay, I at least for sure want us to get the on your own done. If you have time, you might as well do the application.
Can I go if I'm to do the on your own?
Can you what?
Can I go if I'm to do the on your own?